Let's go over our plants. We have some yellow tulips here, but then we also have some yellow ranunculus. We have some beautiful hellebores. I'm excited about using them. And then we have a beautiful blue blotch pansy. And here is a better example of how big that bloom gets. Look at the bloom in comparison to my hand. It is enormous. Taking these combination of plants, and we're going to plant up a beautiful trio or quadruple of containers. Now in this container we have the season's previous look here. So we're going to plant up these 4 containers right here. And when I say 4, we have a container right here in the middle, the larger one. It has some birch stems in there, but then flanking either side we have some concrete containers, but then we also have a milk jug here, and we're going to plant this up as well. And it's going to give us an absolute beautiful show here. Now as far as soil, we will have to go ahead and just top dress a little bit more soil here. Our larger container is going to be fine, and then also we'll have to add soil to this one. Now the star of the show will be these gorgeous forsythia stems, and I waited a while until the forsythia stems actually came into bloom a bit, so I'm super excited. See if we can get this more even. I want to show you what our forsythia looks like against the birch logs, because it is absolutely breathtaking. I'm not sure that it's coming through the camera the way that it is looking right here, but when I tell you it's popping, baby, it is popping. It is giving me just all the feels, the thrills, and everything else that you thought it could be. I mean, all of the... Do you hear me? Okay, so now we're gonna go in and we're going to dress this out. I mean, I just feel like I'm in the woods right now. It is absolutely gorgeous. It is beautiful. We have a situation here. Now, these are our former year's hellebores here. So what we're going to do, we never trimmed or pruned anything up from the season before. So we're gonna come in and we're cutting off all of the leaves. I mean, every single leaf. So as if we're doing our pruning right now. So you just kind of just chase them and be careful while you're chasing. All right, this is what we're left with right here. A beautiful specimen. We come in right here on the side and we take this. Now you watch the position of this tulip once I put this in. Okay, now see how that tulip straightens up? Okay, right here we push this one back, right? We get it where we want it to be, and then we can come in on the side and we can just ever so gently drape one of our violas here on the side, and we take it. You want to take the whole thing and just push it right on in there. And now can you see our tulip has less room to move around? And everybody is happy. So we'll just come in and just anywhere we have a space. So like right here we have a space. Hold on, let me get my gloves on. This is what we are looking like here. And we're done. We came in, we added our beautiful angelic violas there to give us a juxtaposition of color, because although both of them are blue, we have that little lilac face in the middle, so it's giving us just so much in just this small little bloom, and then also giving a nod to the bloom here, because if you look, the blotch here is the color of the outside of the petals here. So I absolutely love it. Now with your tulips, remember your tulips are going to open up during the day and then they'll close during the nighttime. You also want to make sure your tulips do not dry out. We are going to give this beautiful arrangement of watering, but one thing I do want to make a change to, we are going to change out our birch logs, because I really feel like it would just be over the top if we had a larger birch log inside of these containers here, because you can see by the flowers being so voluptuous, our birch logs are actually getting lost in translation here. So sometimes you got to change things to bring it up to scale, and that's what we're going to do for this arrangement right here. And the lighting is not really in our favor right now. It's not necessarily doing us favors when it comes to the lighting, because we're already using a lot of yellows. It is adding that extra golden hue. We don't want that, so I will make sure to pop out and show you what these look like once the sun has transitioned more to the west. We're going to come along this flower bed here and we're going to do some cleanup. We are going to clear out the coral bells. We're going to prune the hydrangeas here. We have 3 of these hydrangeas in this bed. Some more coral bell. We're going to make sure we get any of the weeds in this area too. Again, another hydrangea. And we're also going to fertilize in this entire bed here and just start getting everything in place. We are going to come in and straighten out the bricks because the bricks, by us moving different things, have shuffled. Sometimes with the freezing and thawing, sometimes you'll see them move as well. So that's what we're going to start working on. And then we have to address this container right here. Now these containers have been out here for over a decade with these hydrangea trees in here, and it is terracotta, so you can see that they have cracked and it's lopsided. So if you have your terracotta outside exposed to the elements, this is what happened. And even though it's on a block, you can see the bottom is completely gone. So when I move this back, the soil just falls out. So we're going to have to address this, but first we're going to start off with cleaning out the bed. We get in here, we can see that we have multiple side shoots, and that's what we're going to use to propagate. And the same for this one right here. So I want to try to get enough cuts in order to make 6 new plants. And you always want to take more than what you actually need. But up underneath the undercarriage here, you can see where with your coral bells and your heucheras, you'll get this type of growth here. Another thing that I want to point out is right here we have this root system that's kind of just going astray. This is actually the root system to this hydrangea here. And at first I thought it was a weed, so I was pulling on it, and as I was pulling I could see that my hydrangea here was actually moving. So sometimes you'll see this because your hydrangea roots are very much superficial. So we're just going to come in and we're just going to cover this up with soil and just kind of just get it down. If you can dig down in the ground, that's also good as well too. So then I'll just come in and just try to cover it up. It is kind of used to the air, but we'll just still go in and just cover it back up as well. And this is something that happens that I've seen with all sorts of hydrangeas. They just normally are covered in a thick bed of mulch. I'm going to also pull out as many of these red lava rocks that I can pull out of this bed. Now initially this entire bed was covered in lava rock all the way down in this bed as well as that bed that's over there. Lava rocks was the mulch, if you will. So we're going to Just collect as many of them as we possibly can from this area. Now, the ones that are like embedded down into like the soil, I'm not going to worry about pulling those out. But as for the ones that are more surface, then definitely I'll be pulling those as well. So just everything that's on the surface. This is not even a lava rock. We're going to pull it too. Here is another root from the Bobo hydrangea, and we're going to use this mushroom compost to come in and cover up, as well as feed our hydrangeas. And then in addition to that, we're also going to go ahead and give every last one of the hydrangeas a serving of the mushroom compost. We are going to dig a trench for the root here, come in, fertilize. We'll also fertilize this entire bed. We're going to use any type of just regular fertilizer that you will use for your plants that are non-blooming. Then for the ones that bloom, we are going to use a blooming type fertilizer. I'll be sure to link some down in the description box. And then the last thing that we'll do will be to sheet mulch this entire bed. It has been a full day of work, but unfortunately we were not able to complete this flower bed here because I ran out of mulch. I totally thought I had another 7 bags of the mulch that I like to use, in my flower beds, but I was mistaken. The main thing I wanted to focus on in this flower bed was making sure that I got the sheet mulching done, which that is complete, except for near the end. It looks kind of rough here, but for the most part, the goal is accomplished. I'm satisfied, but I would be more satisfied if everything was complete. Here is one of the birch logs that I want to change out. Now, I think by us going in and using a larger birch log, it's going to give us the opportunity to give a more dramatic look than what we have now. Because as of right now, the birch logs, they just get lost in translation when it comes to the way that the arrangement is looking. I mean, they're absolutely beautiful. I love the colors and everything, but I really think swapping out and going with larger birch logs in those smaller containers will just be perfect, and it's going to fit to scale. So let's go ahead, pop these in, and hopefully when we take out our birch logs that are currently there, we don't do any type of damage to our plantings, because otherwise then we'll be replanting those containers, and I really don't want to do that because they're absolutely gorgeous. So I hope I don't mess this up. Drop down in the comment box and let me know if you got my back. If you got my back, I want you to put spring arrangement, spring container. Oh, bit too much. We'll put it in here. Did I turn the water on? I didn't turn it off, baby. I turned it on. There we go. It's the end of the day, and you can see that the tulips are looking a lot better. They're starting to close up. And that's kind of what I was talking about with your tulips. Your tulips are going to open up, especially during the hottest part of the day. And then overnight, they're going to start to close up. So absolutely beautiful and perfect. With your ranunculus, you want to make sure you're keeping your ranunculus trim back. That way you can continue to keep getting blooms here. And I absolutely love this. So this is the recipe here. So we have our forsythia stems here. We have some clear yellow tulips, some ranunculus, and then we alternated the bottom with a variation of a blue blotch pansy as well as a purple sorbet viola. So we use pansies and violas, and then we have a beautiful hellebore here, ever so beautiful. Absolutely just totally obsessed with this arrangement. And then also for our thriller here, we came in and we used some white birch logs, and that gives us our vertical height here. And I just really love the juxtaposition of color with the yellow. And even though our yellow is more on the harsh side, it is toned down because we have this beautiful cream here, and it just really just looks absolutely amazing, and it really just pops up against the color of the siding here. So I just totally love this look. Drop down in the comment box and let me know what you think about this beautiful arrangement. I would totally love to hear about it.